Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, there lived a renowned teacher named Pandit Riyaram. He was known far and wide as the wisest man in the entire region. People said he possessed knowledge that could unlock the secrets of the universe. He could heal the sick and bring prosperity to anyone who learned from him. Pandit Riyaram lived in a magnificent house at the edge of the village. His walls were lined with ancient scrolls and rare books, treasures he had collected over many years of study. Wealthy families from distant lands would come knocking daily, offering gold and silver, begging him to teach their children. But Pandit Riyaram always refused. "Knowledge is power," he would say. And power must be protected, not given away freely. The only student Pandit Riyaram ever accepted was his own son, Arjun. Every morning, he would take Arjun into his study. He would share one small piece of his vast knowledge. But even with his son, Pandit Riyaram was cautious. He never revealed everything. The most valuable lessons he kept hidden, knowing that someday all this would be Arjun's. "One day, all this knowledge will be yours, my son. But you must promise never to share what I teach you with anyone else." Knowledge shared is knowledge lost. Though his young heart felt troubled, Arjun promised to obey. As years went by, Arjun watched. He saw farmers whose crops failed begging for advice, mothers carrying sick children, pleading for remedies, young people asking for education that might lift them from poverty. But Pandit Riyaram always refused. "I have worked too hard to gain this knowledge," he explained. "Why should I give it to those who do nothing to earn it?" Then one terrible winter, a devastating illness swept through the village. Dozens fell sick. The villagers tried everything: herbs, remedies, prayers, but nothing helped. Families mourned as their loved ones grew weaker. Villagers gathered outside Pandit Riyaram's house crying, "We know you have healing knowledge in your books. Please help us. Our children are dying." For a moment, Pandit Riyaram seemed to hesitate, but then his face hardened. "I cannot help you," he said coldly. "If I cure you now, you will never learn to solve your own problems. This knowledge took me a lifetime to gather. It's mine alone." That night, more children died. Arjun could bear it no longer. Silent and determined, he crept into his father's study and took a small piece of paper. Carefully, he copied a healing remedy from the old books. Before dawn, he slipped the remedy into the village's supplies. By evening, the sick began to recover. The villagers rejoiced. Life slowly returned. Pandit Riyaram discovered what his son had done. "You have betrayed me," he roared. "You have stolen my knowledge and given it away like dirt." "Father," Arjun pleaded, "I only saved lives. How can sharing knowledge that helps people be wrong?" Pandit Riyaram, furious, banished him from the house. "You are no longer my son. Leave and never return," he shouted. With tears in his eyes, Arjun gathered his few belongings and left. He wandered from village to village, working as a simple laborer. But he carried his father's teachings in his heart and began sharing them freely. He taught farmers better ways to grow crops. He showed craftsmen improved techniques, helped children learn to read and write. Everywhere he went, lives improved, and people called him a true guru. One who understood that knowledge grows when shared, not when hoarded. Meanwhile, Pandit Riyaram remained alone, surrounded by his books. He spent his days reading his collection, taking comfort in possessing what others could not have. But as months turned into years, something strange happened. The knowledge he had guarded so jealously began slipping from his mind. He would read a scroll and forget it by evening. Ancient remedies that he had memorized became confused. Frustration and bitterness grew. "I must read more," he told himself. Study harder. But the more he desperately tried to hold on, the faster it faded. One day, Pandit Riyaram fell seriously ill. Lying in his bed, surrounded by his books, He was too weak to read. No servants came to help him. He had always driven them away. No students came. He had never accepted anyone. As he lay there, barely conscious, he heard a gentle knock at the door. Footsteps approached his bedside. Through his fevered haze, he recognized his son. "Arjun," he whispered, "you came back." "Of course, father," Arjun said softly, beginning to prepare a healing remedy. "You are my father. I could never abandon you." As Arjun cared for him through the long days of illness, Pandit Rayaram watched how naturally the knowledge flowed from his son's hands, how confidently he moved, how much he had grown. "How do you remember everything I taught you?" Pandit Rayaram asked weakly. "I can barely recall my own lessons anymore." Arjun smiled gently. "Because I have been teaching others, father. Every time I share what you taught me, it becomes stronger in my own mind. Every time I help someone, I understand the knowledge more deeply." In that moment, Pandit Rayaram finally understood. The knowledge he had hoarded was dying in his mind because he refused to share it. But when shared, it grew stronger, more alive. When he recovered, Pandit Rayaram did something he had never done before. He opened his doors. He welcomed anyone who wished to learn. Teaching, he discovered, brought him more joy than possession ever had. With each person he helped, his own understanding deepened. The knowledge that once seemed fragile and fleeting became vibrant and eternal, flowing freely like a river. Pandit Rayaram's final years were his happiest. He learned that the greatest treasure is not what we keep, but what we give away. True wisdom is found in generosity, in sharing our light with others. And so, the village learned that a teacher who shares their knowledge plants seeds that grow into forests. But a teacher who hoards his knowledge buries seeds that never sprout. The greatest curse is not ignorance, but the refusal to share the light of knowledge. Remember, the true wisdom lies in giving. When you share your knowledge, you create a cycle of growth, prosperity, and happiness, not just for others, but for yourself too.